day one proper, really, because we had it wasn't really a podcast last night, was it? It was kind of a brief introduction, just more for us to get used to using the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. With the flickering fire.
Yeah, no flickering fires.
No flickering fire
tonight. But we're in Stratton, just outside Bude. Let's go all the way back to the beginning of the day. So we had a lovely send off this morning.
Absolutely.
And it's the second time that I've set off from Land's End, and I didn't realise that as charity supporters that the team there are on hand to support whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Pictures at the signpost.
Yeah.
Shares on their social media. That they were absolutely brilliant this morning.
They couldn't have been more helpful, could they?
No.
Waiving the fees, easing the way even for my mother who can't walk very far to drive right down to the signpost.
Yeah.
So she could just walk a few yards and see us there having our pictures taken. They were really great.
They were.
The Land's End team were really great.
I have cynically in the past, berated the idea of charging to see a bit of land at the end of the country, but I take it back.
Yeah.
Actually,
They kind of set the tone for me for the rest of the day. Actually, turning up with Charlotte being so helpful and the team being so helpful.
Yeah.
It set us up for meeting some lovely people, and that's for me. That's one of the themes of the day.
Yeah.
Was meeting some very lovely people, starting with the Land's End team.
Yeah. I mean, starting your day off with watching other inspirational people doing their thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was, just from simple things like friends turning up to say cheerio, family turning up to say cheerio. That's great.
Yeah.
Your friend Andy.
Yes, Andy
rode with us
all the way to Portreath. Andy, who is himself a very keen motorcyclist, so he was keen to come along for a few miles. And of course, my mother, my sister, and Anne came down to see us. It's great to see my old mum, who's not great on her feet, but she wouldn't have missed this for the world. And my sister Karen brought her down. So yeah, a really, really nice send-off from them all.
Now I popped in to see Spike at K Williams, the motorcycle dealer. He used to be a customer of mine actually when I used to work for McCann's. I haven't seen him for probably best part of 15 years, I'd say. But yeah, I didn't realise you got to know him quite so well actually.
He's done quite a bit of work on my Bonneville over the past, and we hit it off a few years ago by mutual love of trekking in Nepal.
Yeah, I gathered that.
Great.
I managed to catch a nice little clip actually of you two talking on the microphones earlier, but I'll fish that out. And then there was the other end-to-enders.
Yes.
So Jordan, a young man who is walking from Land's End to John O'Groats, and
1,200 miles.
1,200 miles on his own,
with a backpack
and a tent.
Wild camping.
I mean,
a youngish man whose backstory. We only got the glimpse of his backstory from the friends who sent him off, but I'm not breaking any confidence to say he's not had the greatest start in life and found himself in sticky situations, and this is why he's inspirational, because he's pulled his life around according to his friends. Yeah. And is now doing this epic solo walk, 1,200 miles. So that's the long way round.
It is on your feet. I mean,
60 days. Bless him. He was great.
Yeah. There was a couple of cyclists as well.
Yeah.
And for me, there was a stark contrast. There was the guy there with I believe it might have been his partner, just looking at the body language, and he's packed up on his bike, and obviously a really emotional cheerio for him. I'm not quite sure what the charity was, but there was a really emotional send off there, and that quite moving to watch. and he cycled off. And then there was the other guy that we actually passed on the bikes later on. He'll probably crop up on the film because we gave him a wave.
Yeah.
And he just came down, had his picture taken, and went, right, I'm off. And then he cycled. And it's just like literally on his own again. Actually at Land's End on his own.
I think there's a lot of stories down at Land's End every day. We asked Charlotte how many people do it, and it's almost every day.
Yeah.
So you could just imagine how many stories behind the people that arrive and leave at both ends, John O'Groats and Land's End.
Yeah, do you know what? And if you're watching this and you've done Land's End to John O'Groats, or John O'Groats to Land's End, or the double like we're doing, tell us about your story. We'd love to hear what your story is and why you undertook that epic challenge, what it was for, what motivated you. Hashtag LidJoggle125 is probably a good one to use, and we'll keep an eye out for those. Now, one of the other things that we're doing on this trip is eating a lot.
Well, we're trying to cut down.
Yeah.
Supposedly trying to lose weight.
I thought about this earlier because we said, well, let's. This is a great opportunity. No alcohol.
Yes.
By the way, no alcohol. And let's try and lose some weight. And yet, so far, we've both drunk alcohol. I want but maybe you'd like to give us the caveat to that.
Well, yes, yeah. Day one, and alcohol has passed our lips, but in our defence, we asked for 0 alcohol.
Word for word, I said, "Do you have any zero lagers?"
0 lagers. Yes, of course we do. So out Sean comes. We're sat at Summerlees in a lovely cafe overlooking the beach, enjoying the sunshine. Out comes 2 bottles. We're talking. We're enjoying the lager. I've nearly finished my lager, I have to say. Before it dawned on me, I thought, actually, I'm quite enjoying this lager.
It was really good.
It was really good. I thought, is it? So then I looked. Is it 0%? And I couldn't see. I thought, where's the 0%? So in the end, Sean looked at the fine print on the back, and it's actually 5% alcohol.
So I said to the young lady, "Do you have any 0 lagers?" And she said, "Yes, I do." 0 lagers such as Peroni,
Azzurro,
and Madri, I think. Azzurro lagers. I mean, who asks for an Azzurro? Who asks for their lager by region?
No.
I mean,
Azzurro.
Yeah.
And sure enough, there was an Azzurro 0%, and it had in big red numbers 0.0%.
Didn't taste half as good.
Didn't taste half as good.
So right, okay, that has been broken, but the integrity was there, so that was an accident.
And
it won't happen again.
No, it won't happen again.
But so one of the things that we were going to do, there's a bit of a long-winded way to get to this point, is that we're logging and reviewing and experiencing biker stops.
Yeah.
Right. So we're writing the Motorcyclist Guide to Great Britain. So if you're a motorcyclist and you love Great Britain, look out for that book. But what we're trying to do is look for good, honest food, great service, welcoming staff, good vibes.
Yeah.
And so far, it's smashed out the park today.
Oh, Project 83, Newquay, been around 6 years. Certainly a vision there from Killen and Krista. Also, their staff today were very, very helpful, Gemma and Katie. They had a vision 6 years ago. It was just a little biker gear shop across the road. I think it's called Wesley Lane in Newquay. If you know Newquay, you'll know it. They saw an empty garage for rent. Vision accomplished, because it is now fabulous biker stop for good food, beer. They do bands there. It's got a great vibe. So, highly recommend
as well. The shop is like some really cool stuff.
You could, really, really cool stuff. Yeah. So the whole vibe was great. They were welcoming, chatty, wanted to know what we're doing. wanted even to promote a little bit the ride that we're on.
So if you want to see pictures of these places, by the way, go to the Instagram. All of our socials are Small Bikes, Big Hearts, all of them. So,
and a special mention to a couple. We just got chatting. Sean and Jasmine.
Oh yeah.
Two bikers. One owns an Indian. His wife, that was Sean. Jasmine, his wife, owns a three-wheeler Can-Am. Cool, really lovely people, and just got into what we're doing and wanted to donate and wanted to find out what was going on.
It's all about the people.
It's all about the people.
Yeah.
Absolutely about the people.
So then we found our digs, which this is where we are.
This is
We're
where
a 13th century manor house, owned by Simon. It's called the Tree Inn at Stratton. It's a cool little place, really biker friendly.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a great vibe going on outside. I'm going to go and take some pictures outside in a minute. And then dinner was provided by the new inn at Kilcampton.
Oh, goodness me.
Chris, Yvonne, and the team down there have been marvellous. In fact, Yvonne ran us up quite late, just before we were due to set off on the trip, and said, listen, sorry we didn't get back to you, but we're going to offer you bed and breakfast and food. But we'd already committed with Simon here, which is great. And they very kindly gave us a meal this evening. Great food.
What food?
Great food.
I mean, there's food, and there's fancy food, and there's Master Chef, and then there's just great food.
It's pub
homemade, well done.
Yeah.
Steak kidney pie, none of your fluffy lid nonsense or fluffy pastry on a gravy, basically. No, this was
that's not a pie. That's a soup with a hat.
Yeah, it's soup with a hat. None of your nonsense. Proper bangers and mash.
Yeah,
creamy mash. 3 bangers. So our weight loss plan is going to.
Yes. We will talk more about these places in our book, so we don't want to go into massive depth about them. But we are taking orders, and we're going to start taking orders anyway for the book. In fact, we've already sold some.
Not even written the damn thing.
No, it's on its way though. But if you are interested in keeping up to date about the book and all of our journey, really, just follow us on your chosen social media platform. We're going to be sharing more about these things in the coming weeks. Okay, very quickly then, Ben, highlights from today?
Well, you asked me that earlier, and I thought, well, the whole day has been a highlight, so it's very difficult to pick out anything. But if I was going to group it together, the highlights really were just how interested and helpful and generous. A lot of people they don't know us from Adam.
I mean, aside from the stretch of road that connects Newquay to Bude.
Now you're going to talk biking,
I mean, that was a beautiful section of road. It was the first section of road where I felt like we were starting to flow. It's not a 20 mile an hour limit, then a 30 mile an hour limit, and then a stop, and then a start. I love the A39, absolutely great, stunning, and of course completely legal speeds. We're on 125s. That Duke 125 continues to astound me. It handles so well. And when we took all the luggage off tonight and then zoomed over for the food, like it gives again. It's just like, oh crikey, this thing's really quite nippy without all the luggage on it. But really, same as yourself, it's all about the people.
It's all about the people. All about the people
are making this such a wonderful thing. Okay, well look, we need to wrap it up there. So, weather check for tomorrow?
Iffy. Okay. We are going to get wet at some point. If we get to the North Somerset coast dry, I will be amazed. So I am probably going to tog up from the start. At least with the jacket.
I'm not messing about trying to get into my one-piece suit on the side of the road.
So today has been absolutely gorgeous, dry, sunny, warm. I think tomorrow is going to be probably the opposite of most of that.
Okay. And the route is
From here, across mid-Devon to Crediton, another good biker stop in Crediton.
Yes.
And then heading north up across Exmoor to the North Somerset coast at Watch It.
Yeah, great. In fact, the last time I was in that Crediton Cafe, biker cafe, was with my brother.
Oh,
God rest you.
right, yeah.
So I look forward to that. Okay, if you want to keep following us, hashtag Small Bikes Big Hearts or hashtag LeJoggle125. But we'll be back tomorrow with more highlights. Thank you.
Thank
if
you.
You've been watching and you've stayed this far. You are part of the people that make this worthwhile.
I'd say like and subscribe down here, but I don't think we've got that, have we?
Well, I can now.
They always do that, don't they, on YouTube? They go, like and subscribe.
They always do that,
They do
don't
that.
they?
They do. They do. They always do that. It's like, if you like this, my lover, like and subscribe below.